I've got good news and bad news. We'll go with the bad news first because that's how people do stuff. The bad news is there's only one bet in this video, but the good news far outweighs the bad news. Because the good news is the bet in this video has a 0.0% chance of losing. In fact, it's so good that I actually stopped looking for more bets once I found it. That's right, I don't want to ruin my night. I'm willing to bet my entire night on one man. But before I tell you about him, subscribe to this channel. Once I tell you about this bet, you're gonna run out of here to bet this thing. I don't blame you. We don't have a lot of time. It's actually smart on your part. So if you subscribe now, you'll be able to find this channel tomorrow. You're obviously gonna want to after the bet wins tonight. And a word to the wise, while you're subscribing, go ahead and turn on the notifications too. It's a vet move. Anyways, Santi Aldama over 15.5 points, minus 128 at FanDuel is one of the best lines I've ever seen in the NBA. I have no clue what the people at FanDuel were thinking this morning when they put this out, but whatever. That's not for us to figure out. And I know what you psychos are thinking. Slop, where's the plus money stuff? Here's the thing. You can go 20 plus points, plus 200 at FanDuel. It's all deadly. The entire Memphis Grizzlies team is basically unavailable. Marcus Smart, Ja Morant, all those guys. It's gotten so bad that they've had to turn to 22-year-old Santi Aldama for help. He's actually been in the starting lineup for 4 games now. But here's the thing. It's working, kind of. The Grizzlies have actually lost all 4 games since he's been put in the starting lineup, but they almost won 1. None of that matters though. What really matters is Aldama is kind of filthy. In those 4 starts, this kid has gone for 21 plus points in both games where he played 35 plus minutes. In the other 2 games, he didn't go over 15.5, but there were real reasons. One of those games was an absolute beating at the hands of the Minnesota Timberwolves. They're one of the best teams in the NBA when it comes to defensive efficiency. He still dropped 14 on them. I told you he was filthy. The other time he didn't quite make it was against the Houston Rockets. That wasn't his fault either. For starters, that team is one of the best teams in the NBA in terms of defensive efficiency. The other thing that went wrong there was the referees. For whatever reason, they kept calling fouls on him. Sure, he was a little bit handsy, but I don't blame him. In my opinion, I just think that means he's trying. I actually give points for enthusiasm. The good news is, none of that matters tonight because the Utah Jazz are in town. If there's one team in the NBA that's in just as bad a shape as the Memphis Grizzlies, it's the Utah Jazz. They might even be worse. First things first, Lauri Markkanen's not playing. He's not even on the road trip. He won't even be in the building tonight. So that's kind of big. I feel like he's a glue guy, and glue guys are pretty important defensively. Only 4 teams in the entire NBA are worse in terms of defensive efficiency. So the Jazz are already pretty bad. Not having Markkanen is huge. Teams just run through these dudes. What's even better is they play at a fast pace. We're talking the 8th fastest pace in the NBA this season. Up and down with no defense is the life for me. I'll tell you that right now. And just when you thought it couldn't get better, it does. Aldama can play either forward position. That's important because guess who gives up the forwards? If you guessed the Utah Jazz, you guessed right. All we need is for this thing to stay close and we'll be raking in the cash. Probably in the first half. And even if it doesn't stay close, Aldama's still dropping 16. We're good. Now, obviously, we don't want to go into tonight with just one bet because we do have a handful of games. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a gigantic parlay on the 4 p.m. live stream today. We're going to do it how we always do it. We're going to hit the positive EV button at OddsJam for a little bit. Then we're going to make the gigantic parlay. Look at what we did last night. We were just 6 De'Aaron Fox points away from glory. That's it. What makes me sick is this dude missed like 8 free throws. We were almost thousandaires if this guy could just make free throws. But he couldn't, so it is what it is. But here's the thing. The only way we can cure this pain is just make another one. If we got that close last night, we can get that close again tonight. Don't forget to turn on the notifications. I'll see you all at 4.